I just installed this interior door from Home Depot, and the next step is to case the door, aka trim, all around the opening. The biggest issue that you're gonna run into is the wall is gonna be larger than the door jamb itself. So what happens is when you put that trim on, it's gonna create a gap. That's the #1 thing that I hate. And what people do is fill it with caulk, but we're better than that. In this video, I'm gonna show you how we're gonna go ahead and tackle that gap and trim out this door. Using a combination square, I'm gonna mark all around the door jamb, and then I want a 1/4 inch reveal. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and set this bad boy right there, put it against the door jamb and mark it probably every foot or so, and that's what I'm gonna line the trim up. And make sure you get it all the way to the top of the jamb, because that's what you're gonna take your measurements to and go out and cut the trim. Once you have the door jamb marked, you're gonna take all your measurements for the left, right, and top piece of trim. Take that outside to either your circular saw or your miter saw and cut at 45s. I already created a video of that, and that's on my channel. So if you wanna create crack-free miters, go ahead and click this video right here. I'm not gonna run through it. I'm just gonna go ahead and fast forward through that. All right, here's our trim, and now we can go on to the next step. I'm gonna line this up with the combination square marks that I made earlier. And as you can see, there's a huge gap all along the hinge side of the door. It starts at the bottom, probably around like 1/8 of an inch, and then it goes all the way to the top. You're probably running at like 3/8 of an inch. So what I'm gonna do is open this door and then temporarily take some clamps and set it into place. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take a measurement from the bottom of the trim to the top and see how far. Like I said, it goes from about 1/8 all the way to 3/8. And then I'm gonna go ahead and mark and cut a filler strip that we're gonna place behind the actual piece of trim itself. I'm gonna take some scrap pieces that I have left over from other cuts and other projects that I was doing and go ahead and cut the filler pieces off of this. This piece doesn't have to be perfect, it's just a filler piece again, so I'm gonna just freehand it on my table saw. Oh yeah. Because I'm dealing with these hinges, I'll just kind of have to piece it in, and then I'll go to the top and then drop down about 1 foot above the latch. And we're gonna set it all in place with our trim gun. It kind of hurt. Okay, let's clamp this a little bit more this time. Add this little piece in. Let's rinse and repeat everything we did on this side to the top. No gaps, flush with the trim, lock it down just for safe measure. All trimmed up, let's give a final look. Overall, that's how I do it whenever I see a gap that the drywall overhangs the jamb itself. Again, it doesn't happen every time. There's other ways to handle it. You know, of course, you can just fill it with caulk, or there's called backer rod. It's like a foam rod that you can stuff in there. But again, over time, that caulk will fail and it'll start to shrink. And the more that you put on, especially a gap that size, it's just gonna shrink and kind of shrivel up, and it's gonna look terrible, even with paint over top. Adding in the wood filler pieces, I can go ahead and caulk it and make it all look like one piece. So when I go to paint it, you'll never even know that there was a gap there. Anyway, I hope that helps. If you've liked this video, like, comment, subscribe. If you're interested in seeing me install these interior doors and where I bought them, I can leave the video right here. I had a nightmare of a time dealing with Home Depot doors, but again, make sure you check out that video. I'm out of here. I'll see you on the next one.